old man Saf.
Hey everyone, this is Neela.
Hey yo, it's your boy Funke, the coolest teen rapper online.
What's up? It's me, Alfie. You're listening to The Cool Table with
You're
Adrian.
listening to the Cool
And
Table.
you're listening to The Cool Table.
You're listening to The Cool Table.
And I'm not sure if you know this, but right now, you're in the cut with my man, Adriel Smiley.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome to the Cool Table. We're in the cut with Okan. This is an amazing interview, and I'm excited for this one because, again, I do not speak a lick of Spanish, and I enjoyed the album all the same. Welcome, you guys, to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
I want to take a little bit of a throwback, and I know you guys have, answered this question a couple times before, but take me back to kind of, you two meeting and deciding to kind of, start this new journey as Okan.
Well, basically, we started doing our own music because we met in another band, and Max is an amazing composer. So I was very impressed by the fact that she was arranging. She's a percussionist, and she was arranging and doing all these other things for the other band. And it was incredible for me to do that. And I was very shy about my music, and she's the one that pushed me to do my music and play my own stuff. So then we just decided to do it, and our vocals work together very well.
It was by accident, actually. Yeah, we just started singing together and harmony, and then our vocals just, tangled, for us in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Decided to go further with it, and everyone liked it. So yeah, we decided to continue with it.
I completely agree. You guys' vocals sound like they were kind of made to go together. And when I realized that you guys had done stuff, separately, I was like, what the hell were you guys thinking? It just sounds so good together that it's like anything separate, I just can't imagine how it could sound as good. I want to take it back one more time to Sombers in 2019. Now, again, like everyone knows, 2020 is basically the world's falling apart of the pandemic, everything that's happening. Talk about, after you put that project on 2019, you got the Juno Award nomination. It was going well for you guys. Did you already have this project in mind, or was it something that you started kind of, around the time when quarantine was happening?
It was actually, we did the 2 CDs pretty much at the same time, back to back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because we had all this music, and in terms of brands, we are very happy to count on the support of Canada Council, Toronto Arts Council, Factor, Ontario Arts Council. So in terms, when you ask for a grant, you have some deadlines. So we had to push. We had to do the of Espiral. Maybe we would have waited, but we had to do it. But also because we were ready to do another tour, our second tour. It was supposed to happen this summer.
Yeah, tough.
So, going on tour with 2 records is, better than with 1.
True. And I got my fingers crossed that tours can happen again, because like that's where all my money goes, all my money goes to live music. Now that there's no live music, I'm like, what do I spend money on now?
We're rich.
Right?
It's really
Paying
sad
for,
right now.
yeah, it's weird. Paying for a virtual concert doesn't, give you that same vibe. And especially, a group like yours, you guys are the type of group that will kind of grow fans with the live show. There are so many groups that I've seen where I like them a little bit, and then I see them live and it's like, oh no, you guys are incredible. And that's how I feel about you guys. So I can imagine what it's like to kind of not have that opportunity anymore.
I
So
know.
it's very sad, and it's kind of hard. I imagine if it's hard for the audience not receiving the same vibe, and we're trying our best, like in front of a phone or a camera, to make it happen. For us, we need that feedback, we need that energy coming back right to us. Otherwise, it's just crazy. We feel like crazy people.
No, 100%. Asking people to put their hands up, you can't can't see if they're doing it or not. Like, it is.
Yes,
like,
I have a trick. I have a trick though. I ask people to type when we're doing a live show. I ask people to type what they're supposed to be singing. You know, we have a song that la 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 la, and people need to start typing la 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 la.
Oh my God, that is weird.
Engaged.
That is so weird.
But at least I know people are paying attention. Yeah.
Exactly. I went to see Division. I think it was a drive-in concert, and they were saying honk your horns when you hear a part you like. It works, but again, very weird. Yeah.
The noise is crazy.
No, very, very weird. I want to talk about the album because by the time people hear this interview, the album will be out. Now, the title track, you already got me in. Just from hearing that on the song, I felt like I was ascending. And the last minute of the Spiral, talk about, that last minute where the beat kind of switches, you go into that a little different vibe. Talk about how that came together, because the song is already, I feel like, taking you to another place. And then again, that last minute, I was like, I'm floating.
Well, we evocate a lot to our ancestors. We are from Cuba, and we are very proud to be Afro-Cubans. So we are using that language and we're using that music to bring it here, but mostly for ourselves, because we are definitely praising our ancestors and all the strength that they gave us. But also to show people that Cuban music is more than salsa, more than reggaeton. So there are other things there are other kinds of Cubans that don't look white like a Miami Cuban. And trying to bring that energy, it's a mission. But Max can speak more about that music side because she's the arranger. So
yeah, like the idea with this is like do a mix. We experiment a lot with our music, so we have so much heritage like in music, not only from the African side but on the Spanish side as well. And then we just wanted to mix two genres. In place of Espiral, there's Arara, which is part of our Afro-Cuban heritage. It's a dead language that is no longer spoken. No one knows what it means, but we have actually the meaning of the chant we do at the beginning. It's very nice, and then we mix it with the countryside music. Like for us, our country, and so it's called Guajira. It's another genre, and we actually mix them together. They don't usually go together. So that's the ultimate thing. Like what we talk about in the chant is about moving from one land to the other. So it speaks to us like it speaks to us all the time as immigrants, because we're newcomers in Canada. I mean, not new, but we've been here a while. But still, like, this is not our land, but we feel that this is our land because we belong here now, and we just bring our heritage to this land and give it to the people so we can share.
But ultimately, we want to make Canadians to dance, right? So if you hear that percussion and all that king, and you don't move your body, then there's a problem.
Yeah, you need to move. So forget about being self-conscious. That's our mission in Canada, to make people move. Forget about being self-conscious. What do people think of me if I move in a certain way? Just move. Doesn't matter. Your bank account, if you're rich or poor, it doesn't matter. Just have fun, man. You only live once.
No, that's a fact. And there's absolutely no way someone can hear this album and hear, the Espiral, the title track, and not move. Like, again, if you don't move when you hear that, something is definitely wrong with you. So I feel like you guys are definitely achieving the mission without a doubt, because I listen to a lot of this album sitting down in a chair just like this one, and I'm in my chair just doing a little wiggle. My shoulders are moving. Like it's impossible to keep still. So you guys are definitely keeping the mission going. I want to talk about Trokada. I feel like I'm pronouncing all these names super horribly, but
you're doing good, actually. You're doing good, actually.
Perfect. I love that. I like the intro to that song. Can you tell me about how the intro to Trokada came together and how that blended into what the rest of the song became?
Well, actually, Trokada was the first song I wrote here in Canada when I first came.
Oh, wow.
And it's influenced by all the people that I used to work with. You know, the Brazilian community, the Turkish community. So it's a crazy melange of cultures, and seeing it from my Cuban perspective. So at the beginning is like evokes those different cultures, like the cajon, because that was the instrument that I played the most when I first got here. So it is very important to me at that moment, and it's also a song, so every musician can bring their own flavor to it. So there is no right or wrong way to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Just bring your own flavor, your own chords. Like it's a steady bass line, and then you just create on top of that. I love that craziness and freedom for the musicians as well.
But that intro, specifically when you're playing the cajon, is something that we do live and people don't expect, because she's usually sitting on the cajon playing congas, but then all of a sudden the band stops and she's playing cajon. Everybody's like, what is happening? What is that box? What is that box? I don't see it because the congas are in front of her.
Oh my
So then she usually does this like solo moment where, I can drink water.
Yeah, she can rest. But it's not too long to bore people.
So live concert is a little bit.
It's one of the heartbeat. This is the heartbeat of Okan, and then the main band comes in and takes over. So,
I love that you use the word freedom when describing, how that came together in that song, because I hadn't thought of that word until you just mentioned it, but I feel like that's what kind of I feel when I hear that music. And again, the ability to have that improvisation, that, I guess, freedom to create on that, can't take for granted. Cannot take for granted. Yeah. We're gonna get to my favorite track, and this one I'm very scared to pronounce. Básame mucho is
Okay. It's okay. You were pretty close. Bésame mucho.
Bésame mucho. The way that you guys laughed, I could tell I did a horrible job. That was a real laugh right there.
No, we're Cubans. We laugh at everything and everybody. Don't worry. It's not personal.
Bésame mucho. That's my favorite one on the project. That's
really? That's interesting.
Sure. For sure. I've got that one a couple of times. Just tell me about putting that one together, because I felt like that was, it stood out to me as a bit different from the other songs, but it just somehow resonated with me. Tell me about that one.
It is very different because it is not our song. This is a very famous Mexican song that it was written by Consuelo Velázquez in the 40s or 30s, something like very long time ago. And it has been versioned so many times, sang in so many different languages. And it was basically Ebolero, which is a very soft ballad from Latin America. Mm-hmm. So this song is very famous in Cuba. And I've been singing this song since I was like very, very little. And Bésame mucho means kiss me a lot.
Mm.
So it was...
no wonder I love that song.
So I invite you to go and listen to as many versions as you can possibly can, which is pretty big. A lot of people, even Andrea Bocelli has sang this song, but it has been many.
Wow. Okay.
But our version is literally a 21st century version, because everybody pretty much sings the same way. It's a bolero, and then it has a cha-cha-cha in between, because Cubans for the longest time, we believed that it was our song. I actually found that it was Mexican when I was older. I was like, what? Is that what it It really hurt. I was just disappointed because it wasn't ours. That's why I was disappointed. But this woman, it was an incredible piano player, actually. And she, when she wrote this, a woman of 15 years old singing "Kiss Me a Lot," that was considered a sin back then. That was very complicated. So one of our missions is to support women in the industry, to bring back with all genres. So all of those things, that song fitted into our mission. So many missions that we have. and we did this crazy arrangement. She did because she's a percussionist. So Magdelys did a irregular beat, so it's in 3/4 and then 4/4. Each bar is in 3/4 and then 4/4.
Yeah, give it a groove to the drum kit, to create like another kind of vibe, because it's always, I mean, usually performing the same way, the Ebolero, the ballad, or whatever. But how would a young person from nowadays would say to someone else, "Kiss me a lot"? Based on emotion, like there is no, I mean, there is romance now, but it's just different. It's just different.
It is with that. It's a
hectic time. It's good, and I like the vibe that I really shaped it, and I really hope that people like it.
just like you did. I love that.
Nah,
You can sing along, because it's a well-known song by the English speakers. They don't speak Spanish, but they can sing this on the culture.
Nah, they will be, no doubt about that. That one hit me right away. I was not even halfway through the song, and I said, "This is it. This is it right here." So for sure. And I haven't heard kind of the originals and all the older versions of it, but I don't know how I'm gonna enjoy them now. And I love the way you guys did it. So I don't
Crazy
know.
keyboard at the end.
But it's okay. But it will be good. It will be good if you actually realize where it comes from, and then say like, "Oh, what these girls did with that, it's totally like crazy."
Nah, I can't wait to hear that. These two songs at the end, Kumbakumba and Bela Canada, I felt like those two kind of blended together.
They are.
I had a little bit of a similar vibe. Talk about, were those can create at the same time? Was it intentional them to go together? Just talk about, those two right there.
They're definitely together, but because Sony owns Kumbakumba, we couldn't put it together. So we had to put Kumbakumba, because it's a cover by La Lupe and Tito Puente. And the other song by La Canada is the version that we did.
Okay.
We did another song. But at live concerts, we perform just one song back to back. But Sony does not let anyone make versions of the songs. So we had to just separate.
I see.
But you're right. You're right. They go together.
I know a little something. The quarantine kind of changed lives for a lot of us, including myself. I had not spent this much time with my mother in years, and that's kind of one of the things I've cherished as quarantine's happened. Even though people are poo-pooing a lot of stuff, there are positives here. I want to ask you guys, what has been your favorite part of quarantine?
Our favorite part?
Favorite part, yeah. You gotta have something positive here.
Yeah, I've learned a lot of things. We've learned how to put together a concert, like not only for the musical part. Actually, we had to learn a lot about technical stuff, engineering, but like respect to the actual engineers. But we had to put up a sound, make it sound right for a phone purchase, new equipment that is actually accurate to happen, and it doesn't sound with that quality online while performing live concerts, right? So yeah, things like that.
My favorite part has been to actually spend time in Toronto during the summer, because we usually don't. We're usually on tour.
We didn't do anything.
We did.
I mean, we read more.
No, but we did things, like going to the beach, like we usually don't go, and doing natural things like going outside, that we don't do that because we're on tour. That's when we're the busiest. So that was good. For me, I cooked a lot. But that's normal. Max learned French.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, well, just we worked out.
I started working out again. This is
Stop it. No, that sounds like all good things because, as basically quarantine started, I had a lot of friends who, it was really depressing for them. And it's like, even myself, I graduated in April and I didn't get to have like a formal graduation. So I know, like, for me, I know that's more for my mom to enjoy. But, I know a lot of people were really sad about that. But I said, listen, there's a lot of stuff happening in quarantine that wouldn't happen otherwise. You're spending a lot of time with family you wouldn't spend otherwise, learning new skills, learning new things. So I want us to kind of take the good away from the world falling apart. That
we also belong. Yeah, we also belong to that culture where very bad things happen to Cubans and are happening to Cubans all the time and still at this very minute. But we show the beautiful face. I don't know how, it's a culture. I think it's the weather as well in Cuba. You show the music, you write music through
Dark times.
through dark times, and you're trying to show the best of your faces. So that is something that for us, going into a dark side, it's not our thing. But we've definitely been there. Don't.
Yeah, but we never give in to despair. I mean, the very dark things can happen to you, but you shouldn't give in to despair. You always have to look for the light. If you look for the dark, that's all you see.
And you stay there. The thing is, we know that you have to go into the dark side, but you also need to know that you cannot stay there too long. So you walk out of it. I don't want to sound like, all positive and you can never go to the dark side. No, everybody has to go at some point. It's okay. It's just the fact that not staying there for too long, so you don't get used to that.
Like, don't live there. Don't move in. Don't buy a house. You can visit. You can visit, but don't stay. For sure.
Those houses are cheap. Don't buy those houses.
This is my last question, and you guys kind of answered it already, but I'm going to ask anyways. We do this segment called Wednesday Wisdom on the radio show, and our boy Brandon Gibbs has a motivational quote every week that he gives us to kind of keep us positive, keep us going throughout the day. Now, is there anything that you remind yourself of every week to kind of keep you going when things get a little bit down?
I always have a saying. I always say to people and to myself, and I have it on my email, that smile. There's always a reason to smile. You can change people's lives through that. Like someone could have a bad day, and you just smile at them and say something safe, and you can change that day and their life for that day. So that for me works.
And I know it sounds cheesy, this is what I'm going to say, but it is so important to us. Happiness does not come from outside. People need to understand that happiness is within you, and you cannot depend on anything or anybody to make you happy. That is a very strong concept that we understood a long time ago.
No, those are both big gems. Yeah, those are huge. So you guys dropped a whole bunch of knowledge on me. I feel like my pronunciation is 8% better for sure. So this has been helpful. I learned a lot, not just about you guys, but again, just about life, a little bit of pronunciation, and it's been a pleasure having both you guys in the show. Again, when this comes out, the album will be out. Espiral, am I saying that right?
Espiral.
I said that horribly.
No, you said it good before.
You said
Espiral is the exact same thing.
It sounds way better the way you say it. The way I say it sounds a little bit nasty.
Because when you're gonna speak Spanish, just put your mouth like you're smiling, like espiral.
Espiral.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That wasn't so bad. I surprised myself with that one.
Think of smiling and laughing. That helps.
Definitely. Espiral is out right now. Please go and check that out. If this is your first time listening to the show, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. Leave us a rating, no less than 5 stars. And if this is your first time watching us on YouTube, please subscribe. Espiral. There we go. Now I'm just enjoying saying it over and over again.
Perfect.
The album is out now. Please go stream that on all streaming platforms. And of course, if you have Apple Music, buy it. Spend that money. Give the album a full buy. But thank you guys again for joining the show. It has honestly been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Until next time, know yourself, know your worth.